Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Vaipo. We're going to be continuing on with the next series. This one is going to be between DeMusliM and Shura. Now, Shura, I'm not quite familiar with this player. I do believe, according to some sources, that this is actually Crimson, formerly known as Crimson. Probably has changed his name to Shura now. But anyways, let's begin. We are with Shura. He is currently on Frenetic Array. He's from New Zealand. That's pretty much all I'm going to say about this guy here. So I haven't really seen much of him so far. Now, DeMusliM, I've seen a lot of this guy play. I've been following him since Wings of Liberty, back when Husky Starcraft was playing. This guy is currently on Evil Geniuses. He's from the UK, and his playstyle is absolutely amazing. And we're going to get to that very shortly. So here we go. We do have the gas geyser coming out. Wow. Okay. There we go. We do have the barracks coming out. Double proxy barracks, and this seems to be really the most popular way to open against Zerg. It's actually two games in a row that I saw where this is the exact opening. In the previous game, if you remember, I do believe, I can't quite recall who it was. I think it was Nerchio versus somebody else. Anyways, just slips my mind right now. I do look at a lot of games in terms of actually casting, and I do look at a lot of games in terms of just research myself, and they built them up here, basically just completely annihilated the Zerg base here. So there we go. We do have this Reaper expand. Every time I see that the early gas is coming out before the barracks, pretty much suggests that straight away, so definitely a giveaway sign. This Overlord actually going to be able to spot this pretty much straight away, so I'm not quite sure if this is going to be giving Shura a big heads up. There we go, sticking out that O face. Gonna see that this is going on now. There we go. There's a bunker going down right on the entrance here, so this is going to be basically denying the Zerg the second base, and of course the gold expander, which is so common here. Now, the one thing to note is that a Roach Warren was put down pretty much straight away from Shura, so he was kind of prepared for it. I'm not sure if he kind of expected this to happen, because, you know, obviously this is a very popular beginning for Terran. It seems to have been popping up quite a lot, and obviously 2 games in a row that I'm getting it on this map, Prion Terraces. Maybe this is the way to open a Zerg, maybe not. Every time I play here, I do exact same thing as most Zerg. I open up on the gold map, or the gold base, and basically just overwhelm the enemy player. And we're going to see 2 Ravagers up here. So the sacrifice of Ravagers is the gas cost of it pretty much means you're not getting an extra 2 Roaches. If I'm not mistaken, it is 2 Roaches. And essentially he's using it for the extra... Oh, look at that. Does manage to get that salvaged. Salvaging basically 75 of the 100 mineral cost of that, so that is going to be defended off quite handily. Now, one thing to note is the Terran player is putting up a new bunker here, which suggests to me he could potentially be building up a second base very shortly. Now, we do see the factory here. Now, the question is he going to continue with this, or is he going to back off? I do believe that the right response at the moment would be to back off and macro up, because from what I can see, this Zerg player is not going to let himself get absolutely demolished by the Mass Reaper rush that we do see quite often on this map. Now, what is this at the moment? We do have a total of 6 Reapers, and these barracks are now getting lifted off. I believe he's probably just going to bring them on away. I don't think that the actual Reaper rush is paying off as well as it should. He did, of course, spot the gold expand there. Going to be backing up here, trying to get around the mineral line for the Zerg. Didn't quite get there. Did get spotted pretty much from the very get-go. And that is going to pretty much defend off. Oh, he does, I believe, spot that this is happening. They're backing up to try to counterattack while they can. This base coming up here as well. So both players deciding to go a little bit macro and seeing where they go with that. Now, these Reapers doing a very good job basically killing any units that are straggling behind. Of course, DeMusliM does, or Shura rather, wants to reinforce the whole situation when he can. Now, this here is not going to happen. I do believe that the Ravager is going to fall, putting DeMusliM in a better position overall. But at the same time, this base is now up. The hatchery is fully up. I believe he's probably going to transfer about half of these drones over there just to basically saturate the base immediately. Maybe not. Look, there's six drones already on the way, and a third going down straight away. So he's definitely expecting this Reaper harassment to go off. As you can see, also the barracks did return. Another command center coming out from DeMusliM. That's definitely something interesting to note. Let's see how much of this he has actually seen. Yes, a creep tumor is indeed under attack, actually taken out. Now, at this point, Shura has not seen any of the tech from DeMusliM. He does have, as you can see here, I can't quite... this day doesn't seem to be great for me for remembering names of things. So Liberator is on the way here. One of the most annoying units to deal with when you don't have any Ravagers up. Now, as you can see, he has 3 up, which is enough to ward off the Liberator, but the question is going to be, is he going to have them in position to actually defend against it? Otherwise, the actual mining could be absolutely 100% denied from this side of the base. This definitely shouldn't be just sitting there pointlessly, because that is going to be given away, or rather wasting time on harassment that could be done. Just 3 Ravagers up at the moment, and the interesting thing is that the Terran player is not punishing this. Now, obviously the correct response, if you have the vision, is to build up a big massive force when you see that the Zerg player is doing a massive expand such as this. So he did put up the gold base, as then straight away he put up the natural expansion as well. Now, obviously the best response is to rush that. But on the other hand, you can't really see it all the time. It's something that you have to predict or scout out, which unfortunately was not the case for DeMusliM in this one. Now, more tanks coming up here from DeMusliM. He does have about 2 of them at the moment, and that's the 3rd one up now. So he's probably going to use these guys for defense, but it is of course possible that he could use them to basically turtle rush up until all the way into the Zerg base. Now, turtle rush might sound pretty funny, but that is exactly what it is. You start basically leapfrogging these tanks. So 1 tank or 2 or 3 tanks are sieged up, bring up an extra 2 or 3, siege them up in front of them, bring the other 3, and continuously do this until essentially you're right inside the Zerg base. This is very, very difficult to deal with and is extremely, extremely hard to stop. And here we go. We do have... oh, this Liberator could get taken out here, just about hitting it with 1, not quite getting the 2nd. This guy getting hit by 2, and he's still alive. So Liberators, very, very versatile units. They're very, very quick. They're very, very good against both ground and air. Well, depending on the air, actually. If it's a Mutalisk kind of group, it is brilliant. If it's any other type, not so great. Now let's see what we have here. We have a lot of upgrades being upgraded as well. There is level 1 complete on that. And that was, I believe, both ground and ranged attacks that have been upgraded. Yes, that is correct. Now we do have 1-1 being prepared for the Marines as well, so it's going to be interesting to see if he is going to continue on with basically a tank Marine Marauder push, and that seems to be quite difficult to deal with because of those tank engages. Now, a lot of Ravage hits going off here. 1 Marine deciding to go a little bit Rambo on them. Unfortunately, it's not the movies, so it didn't quite pay off. Now, this orbital command is going to be in great danger if they don't repair it, which in fact they do. Being able to repair that up pretty damn quick when there's so many SCVs there. And here we go, we do have the Marine engage here. I do believe that overall these Marines would lose on a 1-to-1. Another Liberator actually falling, not taking care of that. If Marines don't have medevacs behind them, they do lose straight out the roaches. They just get wrecked altogether. Now, if the Marines do have the shields researched, which unfortunately they almost do now, but not quite yet, then they are much, much harder to deal with the medevacs sitting behind them, healing them the whole time. So a very, very slow start for both of these players. Of course, the Reaper harass failing from DeMusliM, being defended quite easily simply because of the roach start rather than the expand. And it was a brilliant call by Shura, because I'm not sure quite how he knew, but he did scout it out pretty early, so definitely a worthy investment in sending an Overlord in that direction. Now, there we go, we do have a bit of a harassment medevac going around the back. Now, we're going to see how much damage he does with this. Based on the defenses here, DeMusliM is definitely going to be able to defend this. He does have 4 tanks, and then 3 more up on the high ground here, so there's absolutely no way of rushing in here. He would get absolutely wrecked. Now, let's see what he manages to do with this medevac. Oh, if you notice here, there's actually a second one going around. So he's doing a two-pronged attack right now, trying to harass from both sides, possibly forcing the Shura to split up. A big group of Marine Marauders and tanks here as well. So here we go. This is the medevac here with the other units. We're going to see how much damage exactly he does. He is actually losing some of these units, so a little bit of a miss micro here, not keeping a full eye on them. But at the same time, he is using the medevac on this side to do a bit of damage here as well. Unfortunately, not quite paying off. I don't think he did as much as he would have liked to with these two medevacs, losing them all straight out. But on the other hand, eight drones taken out with those two harassments. As I said, not quite sure if it's worth it. Maybe, maybe not. Now, something to note here, we do have a chitinous plating going out, which means he does have the Ultralisk Cavern up. Here we go. So he is going to be building level 3 Carapace as well, which means that he is going to be producing a bunch of Ultralisks. He's definitely investing a lot into actually getting those up and basically forcing them to tank all of this damage. Going to be quite difficult to break through it. If you look here, sieged up tanks without any upgrades do 50 damage. This is going to be reduced by 8. So 42 damage, not still a lot of damage, but at the same time it does reduce it by quite a bit. Now in terms of Marines, unless the Marines are 3-3, they do pretty much no damage to Ultralisks. And there we go, these sieged up tanks going to be very, very difficult. Now he's probably going to take these bit by bit, trying to push them up towards the gold expansion here. Absolutely annihilating this. There was nothing he could do here. This Ultra is also getting destroyed pretty much instantaneously with the help of the siege tanks in the back. Oh, this is beautiful here. The Roach movement underground, being able to basically come up behind these tanks and just absolutely annihilate them after unburrowing. This Ultra is now going to come up and they're going to pretty much have a field day here. This is not going to end well for the Muslim. Potentially going to get counterattack if they're not careful, but at the same time he does have to defend up against this. He has very, very little in terms of economy going, since he did get his gold base destroyed here. Only a little bit of minerals here. Actually, I'm not quite sure if this is even worth bringing up again in this particular spot. And another, oh, there's actually 3 medevacs here, so 3 going out here and 2 more here. So at the moment oh, what, why would he do that? This is a very interesting one. So he just dropped a few units, they're dead. Right in between all of these units. And again, the same thing happening here. So I'm not sure if the Muslim is just panicking here or what, but he's sacrificing units absolutely pointlessly at this time. Oh, again, the same thing happening again. Shura is absolutely on top of his game right now, being able to defend against all of these units. All of this harass going off, and there we go. We do have a consistent flow of infestor fungal sprays, getting those corrosive vials down, taking out 2 medevacs. Third one is surviving, just about ready to, or able to get away there. 6 Marines and 1 Marauder left on it. Now these roaches just roaming around a little bit, trying to do a bit of damage. There's absolutely nothing he can do in terms of attacking the main base. There's far too many defensive units there. But on the other hand, there is a lot of roaches, and also the Ultras are fully upgraded now at this point with 8 armor. So from what I can see, the Muslim is just playing this massive harassment game. He's trying to basically deny mining, deny any bases that could possibly happen. If he manages to destroy any tech, that's also brilliant. But from my point of view right now, he's doing absolutely exactly what he needs. Oh, just about to catch that Spire. Exactly what he needs to basically prevent the Zerg player from basically spiraling out of control. He is losing a lot of units, and we're going to bring this up here. 11 tanks, 25 Marauders, 71 Marines. On the other hand, for the Zerg player, only 47 roaches and pretty much nothing else that's that significant lost. A lot of drones though, on the other hand, so that's definitely something to note. All of these bases getting absolutely denied the whole time, and this is hurting Shura quite a lot. Let's bring that away. Let's bring the income tab up. The Terran player with about twice as much income. As you can see now, he is on 5 bases. This is fully saturated. This is fully saturated and almost mined out, and this is about to be fully saturated as well. So definitely doing much better on the economy scale. On the other hand, you see that the Zerg player has pretty much vision of about half the map at this point. Getting another expansion up here. This expansion is still up. So he definitely wants to pretty much expand more and more and more and begin the extra tech. Let's bring up the production tab. Spire is almost complete here, as you can see. Metabolic boost only being put up now. That's definitely interesting to note. Now the interesting thing here also would be, will Shura transform into the Ultra Ling builds that we do see ever so often, where you basically rush them with Ultralisks and Zerglings, Cracklings that is. Will he do that? Maybe he won't. Oh, a Greater Spire on the way instead. So this suggests to me that he is going to go with Broodlords. Potentially a good response to this, actually. He'll be able to run on into the Terran base and just absolutely destroy it with Broodlords. Now, just a small force defending up against this. I'm not sure if these Marines really want to be here right now. But the reinforcements, of course, coming in now. The Fungal's growth going down, taking out a few units at a time. Very, very good play here. Taking out that base, denying the ability to mine further resources. He's going to want to back up now and potentially do the same, maybe from this side, or even for... Well, this one is not even worth destroying anymore. But from what I can see at the moment, the Terran player is getting a little bit starved of resources. Not a huge amount, but slowly he is getting denied the resources. This is a very, very good angle for DeMusliM. He had that circle, which unfortunately got destroyed now, but at this point DeMusliM is going to be engaging straight onto this gold expansion, which whatever is left of it at this point, denying this base also, so he's probably going to want to focus that down, prevent any sort of mining going on from there at all. A lot of Marine Marauders here, just one siege tank in the middle and a few medevacs. This could potentially be the last push for our Terran player. Is he going to be able to force the GG here? There's only one mining base left for Shura or Crimson. I really need to figure out if this is really Crimson. Crimson is a lot easier to say than Shura. And this base now up again. So the rich mineral field, let's bring up the resources tab. Actually fairly similar at the moment. The Zerg player is pulling up ahead every now and then. Potentially due to... Oh, this base is not actually mining. I'll take that back. Oh, on the other hand, this base is surprisingly doing well, considering it's this late in the game. Now, disengage going on here, quite a lot of units going head on here, and there we go. This is the crackling situation that we do see here. This crackling has 3 armor, and of course the 1 damage. I'm not sure if you'll want to upgrade this even further. Maybe not. There is, of course, ghosts up on the way at the on the field and a few in production. This basically counters the Ultralisks, which have at this point 8 armor. Very difficult to deal with Ultralisks as Terran when you don't have ghosts. The reason for that being is the Marines, which, you know, they have the highest DPS amount, they only hit it for about 1 damage when they're fully upgraded. That's 3/3. At this point, his 8 damage versus 8 armor. I do believe that only does 1 damage. Theoretically it should do 0, but I'm pretty sure it still does 1. Oh, these infestors getting caught out a little bit, getting 2 of them dropped straight away, popping down. I believe there was a fungal growth there somewhere, but not doing that much with it. Oh, there we go. We do have the Broodlords up now. 2 of them getting sniped straight away by the ghosts. A huge engage here, and this is an absolute massacre. These Marines are absolutely going all the way in, and there we go. We have the GG called. So very, very clever gaming from DeMusliM here, basically denying any sort of mining and expansions from Shura. Well done, DeMusliM, and we're going to see you in game number 2. Hi everyone, thank you for making it to the end of this video. This was of course DeMusliM versus Shura, game number 1, and that's pretty much it. Absolutely destroyed by a bunch of Marines, Marauders, and a few siege tanks, which didn't really play that huge of a part as I thought. On my right side, you're going to see all of my social media links if you want to follow me. Basically, you'll get instant updates as soon as I upload something, which I suppose is great if you do want to watch more of my videos. If you are not subscribed yet, please click the annotation right below my face here, which will bring you to the subscription page. And of course, if you have any comments, suggestions, or complaints, leave them in the comment section below. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Good luck, take care, bye bye.